Across fantasy novels, games, movies, and shows, there have always been sorcerers, wizards, necromancers, and witches that have corrupted the power of magic for their own evil ends. To showcase them all here would be a backbreaker for me in my mid-30s. So here's what we'll do. In this video we will rank the 12 most powerful evil sorcerers and magic users seen in live-action movies. We will include just one from a single franchise. For example, Voldemort would be here but not Bellatrix Lestrange. I hope you like our picks, and now let's get to it. At number 12 we have Ravenna the Evil Queen. Queen Ravenna, also known as the Evil Queen, is the main antagonist in the 2012 fantasy action-adventure film Snow White and the Huntsman, and also its sequel. She is the selfish, tyrannical, manipulative ruler of Tabor, who learns that her stepdaughter Snow White is destined to surpass her as the fairest one of all. Ravenna is an extremely powerful sorceress, but was seeing that excessive usage of her powers would cause her body to age, which she found a solution by stealing youth from other younger women. She can summon and control creatures form of obsidian stone as well as create black tar-like tentacles. She can manipulate the life force of others and also regenerate as well as shapeshift. Although she is powerful, her powers are really limited to her own life force here. Number 11. Eva Ernst, the Grand High Witch. So the Grand High Witch, also known as Miss Evangeline Ernst, was the supreme leader of all witches in Roald Dahl's The Witches. She was a terrifying figure renowned for her mastery of magic and her obsession with destroying and killing children. She was exceptionally skilled in brewing potions, particularly the formula she created to turn children into mice. In the 2020 film, her abilities expanded even further. She could stretch her arms unnaturally, she could levitate, move objects with her mind, and open her mouth wide to reveal fang-like teeth. Her powers include pyrokinesis as well, which means control over fire, and her physical strength and her durability is also superhuman. But all in all, compared to other ones here in this list, she would still rank lower. Number 10. Sofina the Red Wizard. Sofina, a red wizard, was a powerful and terrifying spellcaster with a strikingly bald head covered in magical sigil tattoos. She is seen in Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Amongst Thieves. Her true form was much more haunting, as she is a decayed gaunt and a lifeless lich. As a wizard, Sofina wields impressive range of spells. Her stronger wands include the Bestow Curse, Bixby Hand, Dimension Door, and Otiluke's Resilient Sphere, which are pretty impressive for a D&D entry. She could even unleash deadly spells like Black Tentacles, the Fingers of Death, and even stop time. Her most destructive ability was summoning a meteor swarm, raining fiery explosions over a wide area from as far as a mile away. She also commands elemental magic like chain lightning and can manipulate the terrain. All in all, she is pretty impressive. Number 9. Vlad III, or Count Dracula. So Dracula, the infamous vampire and Transylvanian nobleman, is as mysterious as he is powerful. Besides being a scholar with vast knowledge in science and alchemy, his vampiric powers are also enhanced foremost by his dark sorcery and necromancy. Dracula, an immortal, a vampire, can shapeshift into creatures like bats, wolves, and rats, and even alter his size to unknown extremes. He can control the weather, summoning storms, mist, and wind whenever he pleases. His mesmerizing gaze and presence makes it almost impossible to resist his charm. Although his sorcery isn't as visible as the sparkling spells of Harry Potter, he is still an undead sorcerer like none other. His abilities combined with his cunning makes him a nearly unstoppable force of the night. At number 8 we have June Moore, the Enchantress. So we would have included Sivana or Black Adam here, but they are more like magically powered individuals rather than sorcerers. So here from the DCEU, we have June Moore, who was an archaeologist possessed by an ancient and incredibly powerful mystical being named the Enchantress. Initially viewed as one of the candidates for Task Force X in Suicide Squad, the malevolent witch escaped, freeing her brother as well, called Incubus, and attempted to take over Earth with their combined mystical powers. Enchantress was a fearsome interdimensional being, allowing her to manipulate vast amounts of magical energies for a variety of effects such as teleportation, mind manipulation, possession, creating illusions, projecting energy blasts, become intangible, and move matter with the mind. But in the end, she was defeated by the Suicide Squad. Number 7. Nimue, the Blood Queen. So Nimue, once a powerful sorceress in King Arthur's time, is the stuff of nightmares. Betraying Merlin who loved her, she trapped him in a living grave and turned to worship the Ogdru which are ancient eldritch horrors in Hellboy. Her treachery led the witches of Britain to kill her, but her body refused to stay dead, reassembling itself over time. Fearing her return, they imprisoned her in a box for 1500 years. So Nimue is an incredibly powerful witch. She is an expert in dark magic and curses. She has many magical and demonic powers. Nimue is revealed to have been used by the Ogdru as a vessel and possessed by them, resulting in her transformation into a monstrous being that attempts to kill Hellboy. Number 6, we have Gul'dan, the Orc Warlock. So Gul'dan, seen in the movie Warcraft, was the first orcish warlock and essentially the founder of the Horde. Driven by his lust for power, he betrayed his own people to the demonic lord called Kil'jaeden, setting the stage for the orcs enslaved by the demonic forces and their eventual invasion of Azeroth, attacking humans and elves and other species. He could also take on intangible and incorporeal forms as he chooses. He can empower other orcs with the Fel and also drain the life force of any species big or small. Gul'dan had control over the very earth itself, raising a Fel volcano on Draenor, their home planet, and creating it into a desolate wasteland. His mastery of necromancy led to the creation of the first Death Knights, and his dark magic lingered on even after his death in the Warcraft universe, although this plotline hasn't been shown in movies yet. Number 5. Voldemort, the Dark Lord. So Tom Marvolo Riddle, better known as Lord Voldemort, was the infamous Dark Wizard and the enemy of Harry Potter in the Harry Potter series of movies. Voldemort was a master of the dark arts, feared for his unparalleled magical skill and ruthless pursuit of power. His dark magic abilities were immense. He mastered the unforgivable curses, creating 7 Horcruxes to achieve near immortality, and also reanimating corpses into an army of the Inferi. He also excelled in elemental magic, in unsupported flight and precise apparition. His transfiguration skills were exceptional, demonstrated when he turned fire into a snake during his duel with Dumbledore. Even without a wand, Voldemort could perform powerful magic, and he retained the ability of possessing living beings, a skill he used to survive when he was disembodied. Number 4. Jadis the White Witch. So Jadis the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia is a very powerful immortal sorceress with a host of magical abilities. She controls ice and cold. She is capable of locking Narnia in an endless winter and creating blizzards or even an ice palace. Her wand can turn beings into stone, though this is reversible only by Aslan. Jadis also knows the terrifying deplorable word, which she can destroy all life on a planet, leaving only her untouched. She can manipulate objects with telekinesis. She is immune to freezing temperatures and has the ability to put herself into suspended animation, preserving her body and powers even for an eternity. Jadis is essentially the Lucifer of Narnia, and as such her powers are extreme to say the least, but here she is limited by the world she exists in. Number 3. Sauron the Deceiver. So Sauron, the Dark Lord of Mordor from the Lord of the Rings, is a fearsome force who once served Morgoth before seeking power for himself. He created the One Ring to rule them all, to control all of Middle-earth, and he is incredibly strong and capable of wielding a massive mace and can overwhelm entire armies. Sauron is an immortal being with powerful magic, including the ability to shapeshift, to summon spirits through necromancy, and control the weather. His telepathic abilities allow him to communicate and torture mentally, and he uses illusions to deceive enemies. He also has a wide range of magical abilities. He can spread plagues, he can emotionally torment enemies and intimidate them with his mere presence. The magic that Tolkien uses here in his works are more subtle and not as flashy as Harry Potter, but no less powerful. So Sauron, as a Mire spirit, which is essentially akin to an angel, is a powerful being beyond reckoning, only limited here by the world he exists in, just like Jadis. Number 2. Palpatine the Sith Lord. Yeah, Sheev Palpatine, better known as Emperor Palpatine or Darth Sidious, is also here in this list. Let's see, the Force is kinda like magic in Star Wars, and Star Wars is essentially a sci-fi fantasy, so let's include Palpatine here. The Sith Lord is so powerful that he bent the galaxy to his own will. He is known for his mastery of the dark side of the Force. Sidious wields abilities that bordered on godlike. His signature power to showcase was the Force Lightning, capable of destroying ships and even entire planets at his peak. He also mastered telekinesis. He can hurl multiple Senate pods during his duel with Yoda. Sidious also could see into the future and communicate telepathically across interstellar distances. Perhaps his most terrifying feat was cheating death itself, transferring his spirit into clone bodies to ensure his dark legacy lives on. His mastery of the dark side of the Force made him a threat to all life in the galaxy. So even though he is portrayed as a Sith in a body of a sickly old man, his real powers are incomprehensible. And number 1. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is a master of chaos magic and of psionic energy. After experiments with the Mind Stone, her origins, she gained her abilities like telekinesis, telepathy, and mental manipulation, allowing her to control minds and create hallucinations and even alter memories, as seen in Avengers Age of Ultron. Later, when she comes into her own, her chaos magic lets her warp reality, create and transmute objects, and manipulate elements like fire and water, as seen in the Multiverse of Madness. She can also conjure life within her domains, as we have witnessed in WandaVision, as seen with her children, who never really existed, and she can even manipulate time within limited spaces. Wanda can teleport extreme distances. She can protect herself with powerful runes, absorb magic to enhance her own powers, and project her astral form while her body remains in control in another dimension. Honestly, I've never seen a more powerful sorceress in movies, so Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, takes the cake here as the most powerful sorceress or sorcerer in live-action movies. So that's our pick, and I hope you like it. Anyway, support us by liking and subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, fam.